Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. I am Violet De Ayala. I'm the founder and CEO of FemCity, and you're joining us this morning or this afternoon for our Monday Motivation Series. I'm so excited to have as our guest Shannon Hinderberger. She is actually one of our FemCity Global members, and she's taught many classes for FemCity. And every time she teaches and shares, I always learn quite a bit. So I'm really excited because I know so many of us are trying to continue to pivot during these times. We're trying to see how we can actually start adding more money in our pockets, right? Perhaps we've lost a little bit of money during this time. We're looking to really engage, create marketing that works. Or perhaps you actually are starting a side hustle for the first time and you really don't know anything about marketing. So this class is for you. This segment is for you. And let me just share a little bit about Shannon for those of you that do not know her. She is the founder of Shannon Lee Strategy. She does hands-on digital marketing and social media. She actually does one-on-one training and also group coaching as well. And her background, she was a former producer and she specializes in Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, Twitter, and Vimeo. You can see she is a marketing guru. And I'm so happy. I learned so much from you, Shannon. Thank you so much for taking
this. Thank you. Oh, so where should we start?
Well, anything you want to add about your bio before we get started?
I will say that I have an amazing Facebook group. It's called the Simplified Tribe. I'm looking to change the name, but I have an amazing Facebook group where I've taken the last month off and I've been sitting back and following my own advice. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in just a second and getting into our questions, but really looking at what my audience wants and where they need help. And so I go there and I do live trainings there once a week. I'm about ready to launch some new things there. So it's Simplified Tribe. We can probably put the link somewhere in there. So I have that amazing Facebook group. And then I have group coaching that starts only twice a year on October 1st. So right now I'm working at redoing that as well. So I've been a busy bee the last month, even though I've been really quiet everywhere else. So
I think this summer we had a marketing call right before this segment. I had a marketing call with members of our team, FemCity team. And during this summer, we always look to see like what's working, what's not working. And I also do it again during the holidays. I find like in the month of December, because it's a little bit slower, it gives me the opportunity to have clarity and kind of figure out, what are we going to continue to do and what kind of needs to stop. So this is a great topic of you that are in the same boat, that you're looking and saying, okay, the fall is generally a really big season for many businesses, whether you're in hospitality or in coaching or even FemCity. Our biggest month is always September. So now is a great time to really review your marketing and see what is working and what's not working for you. And so my first question to you, Shannon, for those that are listening and kind of in that mode also, or perhaps you're listening to us and going, I need to start doing that as well. How can you figure out when it comes to marketing, how do you figure out what's working and what's not working?
So the first thing that I usually do, well, there's a couple of things that I'll do. There's not just like one size fits all for everybody, but if you have a website, and every one of us should for our businesses, and if we don't, get on that. You can go look at your analytics and see how your traffic's been. And see where people are going to, what are people gravitating to on your website. So that's usually the first thing that I look at. I don't really look at my social media analytics because I feel like social media is brand awareness, but I will look at like where are my numbers, who are my followers, what kind of followers I mostly don't look at my follower numbers. I will look at who is following me. And are they the right audience to be following me? For example, I have a client that, without giving exactly away who it is, they were struggling with sales. And their Instagram content didn't really mirror their website content. And their Instagram was really geared towards millennials. And I said, well, who's your target market? And she said, 30, 40 and up, 40 and over. And she had these great email marketing campaigns she was sending out and they were generating leads, but the website and the social was not generating a revenue for her. And I said, well, I think your problem is you have the wrong audience on Instagram. And so we spent since March retooling it and her sales are up on social, but her follower count went down. And she was really worried about, I lost 1,000 followers. I'm like, I think the 1,000 followers you lost were the millennials that aren't going to purchase the products that you sell. And it was like a light bulb went on that content was key for her. So to kind of backtrack, like, look at your website, look at who's following you. The other thing is if your revenue is down, just start asking your audience. Spend some time. And I've spent the last month doing this, where I went into the FemCity group. I went into several other Facebook groups and I said, do you fit X, Y, and Z? I would love it if you took, 5 minutes to answer my survey. And then for that, I will give you 15 minutes of my marketing time to come ask me whatever you want. And I'm up to about 20 people that I've talked to right now. And it's really, really a time to, especially now in 2020, with everything that's happened, everybody's changing things. All the plans we had are up in the air and in the trash. And it's been awesome to sit and talk to people. And I do that twice a year. I will do that in July, and I will do it again, like you just said, like that holiday time. I will sit down and ask, because if you're not asking, you're not going to know. So I worked in corporate marketing up until 2017, and I've worked in marketing departments since like 2004, and we didn't have all the conversion tracking and things like that, and we just were throwing things spaghetti on the wall. And now we have things like our website to help us with analytics and conversion tracking and social media to see who's following us and who our audience is. So just sitting out and asking your audience is probably the best thing you can do. Even big corporations can sit down and ask, if Coca-Cola probably does it all the time. They were the first person, and Apple probably asks, like, how can you make things better? But they don't probably do it in a way that solopreneurs or people like us do it. They really have big budgets to do it and big focus groups. But when you sit down and talk to people one-on-one, I got to talk to a lot of femmes over the last 2 weeks and really get to know like where they struggled with when it came to digital marketing and online marketing. And so that can help me develop some trainings, develop social media content, develop web content, develop live videos. And if things aren't working, I think the best thing I say is when I audit somebody, if they're not showing up or showing their face in their social media, on their brand, and their revenue is going down, it's time to really just show up and serve. So
right.
Those are some quick things right there.
Yeah. And I love that you mentioned, connecting to see the people, because I think you also learn the words that they generally use over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really great as just a kind of a research thing the other day. I was looking at this book that I wrote, and I was looking at the reviews, and it pulled out the words that were most common in the reviews. And I thought that is so brilliant, because if I wanted to do a whole marketing campaign around the book, I could use those words that were repetitive in all of these reviews that I was received. So you're in essence doing that when you're talking to people, or when you're posting things, you're looking to see like, how are they describing what they need? What are the words that they're using? Because they may not be the same words that you're using. I mean, it may, yours are probably more technical and marketing kind of terminology, and theirs might be more simple because that's not their expertise. So I love that you're sharing that, because I have fallen that. I mean, I always share the story of when we started FemCity. I was like pushing to get into like Success Magazine and Entrepreneur Magazine and Inc. and all the business publications that I love. And at the end of the day, our people are not there. Like they're not reading that publication. Nope. And so I spent so much time like around that area, but it didn't bring in the numbers and the revenue. So let's say is going to do what you said. So let's say they do like a photo. Maybe it's 5 people, maybe it's 20 people that they have that conversation. And I understand that you're not making money during that time, right? You're kind of like doing it for free in essence, like, but you're also fine tuning your messaging, what you do, the servicing, how you're going to service those around you so they can live life better or have better businesses. And also to look at the analytics, but not put all your eggs in that basket. Look at it, but not to be like, oh, I lost 1,000. I love that example, by the way.
Yeah.
I lost 1,000 followers. I know a lot of femmes would have been devastated, but the reality is that if they're not interested in what you're saying or what you're buying or what you're selling, then like, what's the point in having 1,000 followers if it's not working for you? All right. So then what? So let's say they go ahead and they take you on that advice. How do they start creating marketing that then works? Meaning it's bringing opportunities to them. People are interested in what they're selling, perhaps buying. That's the goal, right? How do you then create marketing that works for you?
So, you kind of touched on it where you saw in your reviews, you saw the words. So I do this exercise with a lot of my one-on-one clients. They'll come to me and say, my ideal client, first off, they won't know who they're, and I don't even like the word ideal client, but they don't know who their dream client is or the dream person they want to work with. And I'm like, well, who do you want to work with? And, that's the starting point. And then you go and you ask them. When you get the answers back, I like to take the answers into a spreadsheet and look for commonalities, just like you said, and then kind of shift the messaging around that. And then from there, you can change your messaging. You can get content ideas from that. And in this digital world right now, content is rising to the top because we can't get out and network right now. That's the big one that's hurt me is I've used to go locally and regionally to network with people. And I'm finding that I just have to reach out to my audience and ask them. And that's how I'm networking. But just taking those keywords and phrases and then writing some messaging around what Becky, a gal that used to be in FemCity, Becky Harrington, used to call benefit statements. Like, how is this going to benefit your ideal audience? And so it sounds nerdy, taking all that data, putting it into a spreadsheet and taking an analysis of it, and then sitting down and saying, okay, people keep asking me, I don't know how to reach my ideal client. How do you do that? Well, how can because I like to simplify things, simplify that and create some content around it. And I like to create videos. I'm actually going to change my videos in the fall a little bit. I'm probably going to go live on Facebook and then put those into Instagram and YouTube and things like that, edited down a little bit. But what I found was people liked my weekly tips, but they wanted more. They wanted to ask me. So I'm coming up.
Learn that. How did you learn that? So how did you know people wanted more of what?
I actually the people that watched my videos, some of them I knew really well. And I just said, well, how can I level up these videos? And they said like a little bit longer and pulling in people's questions and answering those people's questions. So I'm going to try going live on Facebook like Thursday. This is my plan. So Thursday we go live on Facebook and then I would edit the video Friday and then I would load it up Tuesday, and anybody in my Facebook group, they'll know because I'll have an event scheduled and I'll promote it in there. They'll know to put their questions in and then I can answer them live. And then anybody that's not in my Facebook group will see them on Instagram and on my Facebook page, but then there'll be a call to action of, do you want your question answered live? Join my Facebook group. So it's kind of like I don't like to call it a funnel, but it's like a funnel. It's like
process.
Yeah, a process. Yeah. So
love that. And so if you are watching us on Facebook, you can ask questions if you have any questions for Shannon. We're going to keep on with the conversation. But if you are joining us live on the Facebook platform, if you're on YouTube, we can't see the questions. I don't think we can, but we can go ahead and tag us there later on and we'll go ahead and check that out. All right. So one of them, I'm going to just kind of put exclamation points on it for those that are listening, just because I think it's really powerful. What you just said is that you're showing up and then you have your ears open and you're asking them, those that are actually showing up, what can I do more? And then you're taking that and you're doing that. You're doing more of what they're saying. So you're having your clients lead so that you can create the content that's benefiting those that are actually engaging with you.
Yep, exactly. You hit the nail on the head.
Perfect. All right. So what other tips you have for creating marketing that works? I love that one, by the way. So if you're watching and you're like, I only have 2 followers, let's just say you say, you know what, that's great, Shannon. Shannon has thousands of followers. She can do that. I only have 2 followers. I think you can still do that with 2 followers. I think you
still can do it. Yeah,
you can still do it, because then you have people that tag or share it, or, oh my gosh, I have this friend of mine who does these Facebook lives and I've gotten a lot of value from that. So even if you have 1 or 2 and you're just starting out, you can still show up and and do it. You can still kind of get in that mode, and then it will start to grow and grow.
Yeah.
If you're connecting, right, with what
Yeah.
they're wanting in their life. What other tips do you want to share for those that are looking at creating content that works for them?
So a lot of times people don't know where to start. I always say, like, who do you want to reach? I feel like the ideal client avatar or ideal client gets used. So I like to say dream client, like, who's your dream client? How do you want to reach them? If you know 5 people, or if people are constantly asking you things, start there. And I always tell people to either ask, what do you want to know about your area of expertise? And take 12 of those items. And then if you do a survey like I did, and you might have those answers there, or what are the top 12 things people ask you? And then tackle those once a week, and start showing up and serve your audience. Now, I started my Instagram account 3 years ago with 300 followers. I'm like, I think 12 away from 2,000 followers, but I also have people be like, that's not a lot of followers. Well, I have had a 6-figure business for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have a lot of followers to make a lot of money on doing what you do. You just have to be known for what you do. And I think that is more important. So how do you get known? You just start serving your audience. And it's like that heart-driven, we've talked about that heart-driven business where you are serving your audience and people can tell like you're genuine and you want to be authentic. You want to be genuine about it. So you have to start from there. And it takes time. I would say that when I started doing this 3 years ago, I came out of working in the corporate world to starting my own business, and I had to start from scratch. And so you just have to keep showing up. So asking people or taking those questions that they've asked you, and you just have to start showing up in a medium that's comfortable for you. But I would say to get out of your comfort zone, and video is actually the best way to get, because people see and hear you. And I've had femmes that I have never even met recommend me. Which I'm just like, wow, because they're seeing and they're hearing me and I'm showing up. And I've gotten business that way and leads that way. So if you just start showing up wherever you can and genuinely helping people, the word will get out that
I love that.
about what you do. Yeah.
I love that. I love that you shared the video, and because I think a lot of femmes are very, very nervous. And I, for one, was very nervous when Facebook Live started on the scene a couple years ago. I was deathly like frightened to even be, I was scared I was going to mess up. I was scared the technology was going to fail. I was scared, like I was going to say the wrong words. Like I was scared of everything. And I practiced in a private Facebook group. I practiced there for a while. And then eventually I went live, and you know what? Technology sometimes was not my friend.
Mm-hmm. That's happened to me.
Yeah. Drops, or the dog wakes up, or the UPS guy shows up. I mean, and I've gotten to the point where I just kind of roll with it. And it's funny, Shannon, that it inspired a lot of our femmes because I made so many mistakes while going live. It inspired them to move forward. I got so many messages saying, you know what, I was so scared, but I saw you mess up with the laptop falling or the dog barking or, you know, like your AirPod falling out or all those things. And it inspired them to move forward. So, so people, you know, just be authentic, be real, and everyone is always nervous. I don't know one person who was like, "Oh, camera, bring it on. I'm always perfect." I don't know if that person even exists. I'm so glad you said that, because that's what you need to be in that uncomfortable place. I would say all the time. It should become a place that you seek to be in, because you know that's where the golden nuggets of life really are, is in that really uncomfortable place. There's another global member, I'm not going to mention her name because she's not here, but she shared with me that she would do things on purpose that scared her. And then eventually she became addicted to finding the places that scared her, because she found so much, joy and happiness on the results and the after. And so it became this thing where she was looking to see, what am I really scared of? I'm going to go ahead and do that. You know, Facebook Live, Instagram Live. She then all of a sudden started becoming like, where do I go where I can get that sensation? Because she knew it had already connected to the results. That painful always led to like really good results. So anyway, I love that. And you have some love coming in, by the way. Morgan says exactly. Stacy says that she loves the spreadsheet idea. And Morgan did a little LOL. We inspire people when we show up in our messiest self. We inspire people to also show up in our messiest self. So
yeah, I misspelled something over the weekend, and I misspelled something. Sometime I misspelled something, and on a graphic that I posted, and I was just like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna fix it. Like, I'm not gonna fix it, guys." I wrote in the comments, like, "I know it's wrong, but guess what? This is what solo entrepreneurship looks like."
exactly.
And so many people were like, it was like, I read some stat that like 9 out of 10 people don't care when you make mistakes, spelling mistakes. And so I was like, I read that stat, and I'm not gonna change it. I mean, especially on Instagram, you can't change it. Right. But we're all gonna make mistakes. There's a great podcast right now. I was looking it up while you were talking, on social media marketing with Michael Stelzner, about using Facebook Live to create quick content. And it's basically for those that have never done video. And they've said exactly what you said: go live in Facebook groups. The other place to start, if you're really struggling with video and putting yourself out there and the way you sound and look, is Instagram stories sent to Facebook stories. So you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. And somebody told me that there's LinkedIn stories coming, and Twitter stories, and YouTube stories, which I have not even looked at any of those. But Instagram stories is easy because it connects to Facebook stories, and you can connect it to your personal or business account so people can see it there. But Instagram stories is where I got comfortable with video. And as you know, I have a broadcasting background, so I should be comfortable with video, but I'm not. I wasn't 3 years ago.
There you go. Even an expert, I mean, a pure, true expert, yeah. Even she is as well.
Yep.
You will inspire people by saying that, Shannon, that you've inspired more people, because I think if you look at social media, sometimes, you have people that come across as so confident, and the background, everything is so perfect. I've actually really enjoyed during this pandemic watching the news shows that I watch, and watching them be at home. I mean, the other day, Steve and I were watching a segment, and he was wearing a sweatshirt. Like, the expert interviewing was wearing a sweatshirt, and big expert, by the way. It wasn't like this nobody. It was like someone big, and Steve and I were laughing. We're like, I mean, but it was nice. It was lovely. Right. It was a Sunday morning news show, and it was lovely to see that there's just a level of like, it's not going to be perfect, and there's no makeup on them, and they have like gruff on their beards. And so well, I guess we've already is almost out of time. How can Fems find you? I know a lot of our members already know you from the Facebook group, but for those that are just meeting you for the first time, where can they connect with you?
So they can go to Shannon Lee Strategy on Instagram, and that's probably the first place to connect with me. I was just looking at my follower count, so I don't usually care about follower counts, but today I was looking because I'm like 12 away from 2,000. Shannon Lee Strategy. I have a lot of femmes that follow me there, and I interact with a lot of them there too. I've spent this summer just really getting to know my audience on my social channels, so that's the best place to start. And then I have the Simplify Tribe on Facebook. That's a group of marketing, my little marketing group. And I'm getting ready to roll out a series of expert panels like every other week, and live coaching, and really, really starting to really focus on my Facebook group, and then my other areas. Because I have found that Instagram and Facebook are great sources for me and networking, but I found that once I get people into my Facebook group, that's where I can really shine and be one-on-one with them. So I've been working on those two areas.
Awesome. And I think you taught a great class for us on how to really grow your Facebook group. So if you're also falling in love with Shannon and what she has to share, I encourage you to visit our FemCity library, because she did a great class on how to grow your Facebook group and how it can monetize for you. That was another great class that you taught for us. So always amazing, Shannon.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is great. And again, if you're watching this live and you have any questions, you can always tag Shannon later on, or message her. You can find her also on the FemCity website. She's one of our FemCity teachers and speakers, so you can find her there as well. Thank you so much, Shannon. I hope you guys have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.